Hello and welcome back. Today's lesson is on backpacks, Pikau. There's about 6-7 different ways of making them. I show you one of the most common one. Radio. Depending on how many whānau you will put on your backpack, the bigger it obviously gets. I prefer a minimum of 80, that's 40 each way, but I go up to 112 if need be for the extra large. I think I've got 106 here, but I'm not 100% sure. I'll find out later on. Now I have some coloured ones as well. You don't have to do the coloured, or you can do the whole lot in colour, or really up to you. And I always start with a piece of margin, and the way I do it, I put them on both sides and just turn one side over, and I'll show you in detail how to do that right now. Radio. I always start, it's up to you really, you can reverse that with a shiny one on the right hand side and the dull one on the left. And I just put the whole lot on like this. Now you might have been wondering why I kept the coloured ones separately. That has to do with where they go later on. And at the moment, if I put them on now, they would be at the back of the backpack, and obviously if I want to put a pattern in, I want the pattern to be seen at the front and not the back, and therefore I need to put them on. Well, I could put them on the dull side, but the pattern I'm intending to do, I want to go in this direction, therefore they need to come on last. Where I started, this is going to be the join, and will be, in this case, right at the back. There are other options where you can join at the front. It's really up to you personally. And I'm just going to add all of these onto this fitty, and then I'll see you at the end. Radio. It's 104. I wasn't really 100% sure before, so I've got all the shiny on one side, all the dull on the other, and they're all nicely on its fitty. And I've got a band of colour at the end, and that's alternating blue and purple. And for now I'm going to basically move all these dull over for my actual weave, and so what is the fitting now will be the top of our backpack. Okay, so now we just turn all the shiny over and weave them in as we go with a takitahi. And I only do this for about 2 rows, depending really on the pattern. And it will get really crowded. And so what I do in the process, I slightly tilt it and make it a bit round. So the longer we go on, the more of a circle this whole thing will become. But that helps with making it not too cramped and crowded. Now there are a few other ways of obviously doing backpacks. There is putting them all on one side, doing shiny dull on one side, or doing shiny. It really, this is just one of the ways that I've learned over the years, and I find it rather nice. It gives a nice finish at the top. I'm not saying this is the only way. And I'll just continue here, and I'll see you when I'm joining it. Alright, now we're at the other end and almost done this. As you can see, this is an almost perfect circle, and so this is our top of our backpack. And now we're going to take this and we're going to join it. So So essentially what we are doing, we'll just continue our weave from both ends. Just the way they're supposed to be. And then we end up with something like this. So once we've joined, we can start our pattern. And I just start with a simple takirua, and you can just pick a suitable pattern out of a pattern book or from someone who handed it down to you. So there is limitless options for you to do a pattern. I just find it the easiest to do a takirua pattern or a broken stack or something along those lines. And we'll just weave this whole thing up as far as we go, as far as we can go or want to go, and then we lock it off. Go round and round just like a kiti. Rightio, sort of 2/3 around, and we've got a little helper who for some reason doesn't want to leave. So I'm just moving this as I go and do sort of 2 to 6 rows depending on the pattern each time. And just moving it around. I still got a couple of rows still to go if I wanted to make it nice and long. So the essential thing is really just keep going around and around. Sometimes they go a little bit dry depending, and then I spray them on the inside a little bit. But other than that, it's really straightforward until we lock off. Rightio. Now I've woven as long as I possibly want. So this is the join up here, and that will become my back. As you can see, once it's flat, so the top is going to be a bit narrower than the bottom. And now what I do is I find out where the exact middle is. Right, so I've finished my weaving downwards. So again, this is the top, that's the bottom. The join, the leftover bit, some people they just make a nice little koru out of it at the top, but I incorporate it into the handles. You can do whatever you like with it. Now, in order to close the bottom, because at the moment you can just, go all the way through, you first need to lock it off. And we just go all the way around and do a single lock, just a single, not a double. And that's just a typical, everyday single lock all the way around, and then we get to the business of closing the whole backpack. Right here. Now I've locked all the bottom off, and now obviously, as I said before, I want my pattern to be in the front, and so I'm going to incorporate the join and the back, and I measure it up that it's right in the middle, like so. And then I start on one side. It's hard to see, I know. See, everything that is standing up at the moment, basically all the ones up, going to be a fitty going this direction, and all the ones at the moment being down on the return journey, going to go in that direction. And the end bits, they're going to be the start of our handles. That way the backpack is very, very strong at the bottom, and the handles are unlikely to break. So we just do a simple 3 plaits. Like every child can do them. So, and you just take them all. You don't drop anything unless you have really too many. I take the whole lot with me and I just go along, and that way we get a nice even bottom. Just pull it nice and tight. So here we are, that's the base of our backpack. I've done the second fitty on top of the first. The ends are nicely combed, well this one isn't. These are going to be the start of our handles. And when it comes to handles, everybody got a different idea. So feel free to be creative. There is no point in me showing you how to make a handle, because if you're an experienced weaver, surely you've got your own preferred way. So I'm not going into detail about that. So this is the bottom, this is the front, top, and these handles will get extended with these margins up to the top, and then you will have them coming up here, get attached at the top, and then you have backpack. Yeah, voila. Rightio, here we go. One finished backpack. Handles at the back. And a nice little toggle up the front. Some people use driftwood or shells or whatever you want to do. This is what I would call a medium size, medium to large. So it fits you know, a woman or a small man. It's a bit too big for a child. Again, this is only one version that you can possibly do for a backpack. Same with the handles. There is too many different ways to show them all. And if you have any further questions, you can always get in touch with me through my website. That's Flaxworx with an X, not with KS. And happy weaving!